What's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Deck Energy. My name is AJKirsch, and you might be asking yourself, why exactly is an at-home, zero-equipment bodyweight workout referred to as Big Deck Energy? Well, I'll tell you why. Because usually, we use a deck of cards to determine how many repetitions of each exercise we're going to do. But tonight, because of a sudden scheduling conflict, we are not going to be doing your typical workout featuring resistance training or cardio, all of which, by the way, are done without any equipment whatsoever. It's all body weight stuff. Big Deck Energy. Deck, D-E-C-K, as in a deck of cards. But tonight, we are going to be doing a very thorough full body stretch. And if we have time at the end, a couple yoga poses. As I said before a couple minutes ago, the short story is there's a phone call that I have to take at 6 o'clock Pacific time tonight, which is right in the middle of when we would usually do BDE. The long story is, as a wedding officiant, I marry people. I'm an ordained minister. And a couple that I know are getting married this weekend, but they had to replace their existing wedding officiant because they were overstressed. They have some health concerns, not COVID related, but some health concerns. So they had to withdraw. I'm stepping in, and the only time they can talk tonight and actually go over the ceremony is at 6 o'clock Pacific time. So with that said, we're going to launch right into a thorough stretching session. I'm only going to plug like payment and support at the beginning and at the end. So if you are in a position to tip for tonight's workout, I would appreciate it very much. I just dropped my tipping info in the chat, and if you're watching this on YouTube, that information is in the description of this video. But also, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Tier 1 one-month subscription to any Twitch channel every single month. And I would appreciate it very much if you use that free subscription on my channel. You don't pay a dime, and it puts a little coin in my pocket. So I just dropped a link in the chat that gives you step-by-step directions on how to do that. Again, if you have an Amazon Prime member, then you're eligible. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, then that link is in the description of this video. So a ton of ways you can support, and at least one that doesn't require you paying any money whatsoever if you're a member of Amazon Prime. So with that, I'm going to back up a little bit, and we are going to get our stretch on. And by the way, I will keep an eye on the chat to see if there are any questions or anything. But for the most part, it should be pretty simple if you just follow along. Ugh. And we are going to start the seated position with our legs wide. Just kind of let your weight sink in. In fact, for me, just sitting here, I can already feel a stretch kind of along the side of my hamstrings, which is not a great sign. It tells me how much I've been neglecting my stretching. So again, just kind of settle in, put all the weight in your butt so that you just settle into whatever surface you're on. You can start reaching forward a little bit with both arms. Try to go as far as you can. Breathe deeply, by the way, as you're stretching. Like, it's breathe as deeply as you can. It'll help you get more out of the stretch. At this point, I'm gonna ask you to stretch both hands to the left. If you can touch your toe, great. If not, go for your ankle. If you can't go that far, just go for your shins. If you can't reach your shins, then just go for a kneecap. But the point is to create a little bit of tension and tightness so that you do get some genuine stretch. Oh my God, I can feel that I've lost some flexibility here, and it is not good. Ow. I used to be able to just touch my head right down to my knee, and I can barely even hold it there anymore. All right, stretch to the right. Ooh. By the way, I just explained the tipping procedure, but as always, 20% of everything tipped to me tonight will go to an organization or a cause that deserves it. So whether that's like an organization that supports Black Lives Matter, the ASPCA, UNICEF, the Trevor Project, Planned Parenthood. I've also donated to people that have GoFundMes to cover funeral expenses, medical expenses. You know, it feels good to spread the good around, because there are people out there who need help more than I do right now. So whatever you tip to me, you're not only helping me out, but you're also helping out a great cause or an individual who needs it even more than I do. So thank you in advance for those of you who are able to swing it. And like I said, if not, it's all good. I appreciate you being here. Let's stretch to the middle. Try to touch your elbows to the ground. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, that tipping info is in the description of this video. And while you're here, see if you can point your toes. That just, I mean, increases the stretch even more for me. Like, almost as far as to my inner thigh. Uh-oh, looks like I got an email. I got an email from what I think is Venmo. We might have a new BDE MVP, people. I'm going to do one more stretch, and then I'm going to get a closer look to see what that email says. You know what? I should just move my iPad closer. All right. From here, we're going to do the butterfly stretch. Bring your feet in together. Put your hands around your toes. I interlock my fingers and then put them around my toes, and then I'm going to push my elbows down so that it pushes my legs down. And then I'm feeling that right here in my inner thighs, kind of toward my crotch. And then if this is easy enough for you, go ahead and see if you can touch your head to your toes. Bend over to the front, touch your toes! Ooh boy. Oh, yeah. This is another one that I need to do far more often. Okay, I know I said I was going to grab my iPad, but I'm going to do one more. Put your feet out in front of you and just reach for your toes. Again, you might just be putting your hands on the back of your hamstrings. Maybe you can reach your calves. Maybe you can reach your ankles. I'm going for the toes. But just go as far as you can. Again, this is about challenging yourself in a way that increases the elasticity of your muscles. And then if you can reach your toes, inhale deeply. When you exhale, point your toes forward so that you can actually stretch out your back as well. Like so. Oh, I got a little bit of a crack. It's in there somewhere. Can't quite get it. Maybe by the time we progress on these stretches. All right. I'm going to see if we have any questions. And, Jack! Jack is back, and in a big way. Dropping in with a stupid, generous $25 tip with a nerdy emoji, a devil emoji, and, in parentheses, heart you switchy. Aw. Well, Jack, gracious in victory. Ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between, your new BDE MVP, Jack. And I know his screen name is JPax, but to me he'll always be Jack, because that's how he started off in Twitch. So, Jack, thank you so much. That brings our total up to $30, which means $6 will be going to an organization or an individual who needs it. Again, an extremely generous tip for tonight, Jack. Thank you very much for your $25 tip. But if anybody's feeling even more generous, and it doesn't have to be by much. You can tip as much more as 1 penny, and it'll still count. But as of now, Jack, today's BDE MVP, but we've still got about 20 minutes to go before we call it a workout. So there's still time for somebody to be crowned BDE MVP. All right. Thank you, Jack. It's so nice to have you back. All right, let's see. We did that. We did that. Let's see, what's next? You know what? Let's actually go back out here again and just stretch to the left one more time for 5 seconds. Already feeling like I'm getting a little bit more mobility in my muscles here. And to the right. All right. Now, at this point, oh, you know what? Let me just grab it. Bring it with me. So that way I can keep up to date with all the tips and whatnot. Although I did see I just got 86 texts. How is that right? And I'll just send that real quick. Okay. Let's get our email back up so I can keep track of these tips. All right. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to kind of hug your knees into your chest. I like using this grip. This is called a butterfly grip, which I used as an amateur wrestler. It's actually way stronger than this because once your fingers break, like they're... Anyway, I don't want to get into the science of it because we don't have a great deal of time. But butterfly grip, I'm going to roll back and forth 5 times, and I'm just going to throw my legs over my head to stretch out my neck and back. Here we go. Oh. Ooh, I need to scoot up a little bit. Otherwise, my legs are going to hit that chair. Here we go. Ugh. It's actually not so bad. Oh, God. All right, and then from here, what I like to do is kind of let my legs come back and then stretch out my neck. Oh my God, I'm so overdue to stretch like this. Ugh. Oh boy, then back to center. Oh. All right. And 5 more rolls to roll out that spine. And then just lay flat like you did. And 5. And now we're dead. I'll move that over there. All right, so we're here now. We're gonna stretch out our back. So bring your left leg up, right leg stays flat, right hand on the outside of your left knee and bring it across your torso. And do your best to keep this shoulder on the surface. Oh my God, that hurts. Oh, there's the crack. I found it. And switch. Right leg bent, left leg straight. Bring your right leg over your torso. Oh yeah, that was a big one. Oh my God. I don't know if you could hear that, but ooh. All right, we're gonna take it a step further. Both legs bent. Take your right leg over your left. Again, try to keep both shoulders on the surface this time and just swivel your hips down toward the surface. And now all the way to the other side. Hoo boy. Back to center, and now switch. Left leg over your right, and back down first to your left. And back to the right. Oh my God, I already feel so much better. Why don't I do this all the time? I know there's at least one person watching who probably talks a lot about stretching. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm just as guilty. Because I talk about stretching all the time, and I don't do it nearly as much as I should. And there's no reason that should happen. All right, now then, we're gonna do the PE stretch, and I call it the PE stretch because it's like the stretch every kid does in PE class. One leg out in front of you. We're gonna start with our right leg. Left leg over, and then put your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Almost feel like I've got another crack in my back coming, but I can't quite get to it. And I just saw some fresh comment in the chat. I will check that out in a moment because we are almost done stretching our back. Switch. Chi. And back to center. And you know what? Because we're back here and we already stretched this, I'm gonna go touch my toes one more time. And I don't know about you, but I already notice a huge difference in my back and how easy it is for me to touch my toes. Ugh. All right, let's see what the chat's talking about as we have about another 12 minutes before we get out of here. I need to stretch way more with how physical my job is. I hear you, Switchy. Iron Lung, you still do these every day? Good for you. Well, almost every day. Well, it still counts. It still counts. You're stretching more than I am. And I'm a little embarrassed to say it, but because I am such a fitness-like oriented person, I guess. But yeah, I need to stretch more. Let's see. What did we just do? We just stretched out our back. What usually follows that? Oh yeah. We're gonna go from our back to our butt. So we're here. I want you to kind of, what is this, a figure four almost? You're gonna take your right foot and put it above your left thigh. Lean into it, like you're starting back here. Lean into it and you should feel this right in your glute. Your gluteus maximus, yeah! And just hang out here for a minute. Not literally a minute, but just a little bit. Stretch. Breathe. And switch. Chi. And from here, we're actually going to do the same stretch. So put that, go back to the first one that you did. Whose people are talking? Yo, it's supposed to hail and thunderstorm tonight? Jesus Christ! Why? That's crazy. All right, anyway. First stretch for your butt. And now this time, I want you to... Okay, this one's hard to explain, so just watch. You're gonna grab your knee, this arm, through the legs. Grabs this knee, you're gonna rock back and pull this knee into your chest, which is going to stretch this and therefore your butt even more. This is like a conveyor belt stretch, basically. There's a lot happening to get to the stretch, but it will happen. And here's how you can switch by being on your back. Here, here, and here. This is another stretch that is just blatantly obvious how little I've kept up with it and how much that needs to change. Even though I'm not like wrestling at all, really, not since AEW Dark, but you know, I'm 37. Like I need to start stretching more often just because I'm becoming an older person. Not old. Nobody's like, I'm not saying that like, oh my God, I'm so old. I'm just saying like I'm 37. Body doesn't work the same way it does when I was 27. All right, now then, we're still gonna be stretching our butt and then we're gonna start transitioning to our legs. So what you're gonna do is, this is a yoga pose called pigeon pose. So start with your leg kind of on its side like this. And then what I like to do is I put my hand on my ankle, put my weight on it, and then maybe it's better if I do this to the side. Just gonna show you what's going on. So I'm here, and then, yeah, pigeon pose, bro. Right in front of the heater too, thank God. 'Cause it's a little bit chilly. Maybe I should start stretching every day and see if I can get to the splits by summer. That'd be fun. Fun little goal. Can you see that? I'm like trying to make my butt bounce. I don't know if it's working. Anyway, switch. Chi. Oh yeah, this is another stretch that you just kind of have to like settle into little by little. Trying to make my other cheek bounce now. Because I'm an adult and this is what I do. This is what I do when I stretch. Just see if I can make my booty bounce. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can do it. Come out of that stretch, by the way. Any questions, by the way? Sound off in the chat. We've got about 7 minutes left. Let's call it 6 minutes, just so I can like break some stuff down, break down my setup before the phone call. We're actually gonna try doing the splits. So go ahead, put your weight on your hands. Put your left leg out like this. Weight on your hands, like I said. Nobody wants to pull anything. Right leg out like this. Oh my God, this already hurts. Let's see how far I can go. Nope, that's it. That's definitely it. Ooh, boy. I wonder if I can do push-ups like this. I can. I don't know that they're particularly perfect push-ups. They're definitely not. Ah, they are challenging though. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, and then from here, in as much split as you can do, go ahead and put your knees down, and then curl your legs behind you, and then just kind of settle into it. Again, the same way we did when we started stretching, when we settled into that seated position, you're gonna settle in as deep as you can here to stretch out the insides of your legs. And for me, I can't really go too deep because of the couple of surgeries I've had on my left knee. It just gets a little bit stiff, but nonetheless, it is good to see how far I can go, see if I can push it a little bit. Hell, I might even be able to get some mobility back that I lost. I'm probably 90% mobile on that knee. Like, I can still bike, I can still run, I can hike, you know, I can do all the things that I need to be able to do, but it still doesn't quite extend as straight as the other knee. So, it is what it is. All right, coming out of this, I'm gonna check the chat. We've got about 3 more minutes. More advanced version of that pigeon pose, the back leg is bent. Oh my God, I am definitely not ready for that yet, Jack. So because we only have about 3 minutes, we're not gonna get through the whole stretching session. So maybe I will do one tomorrow where we just stretch again. In fact, maybe I'll just make stretching a daily thing on Twitch. That might help me actually stick with it a little bit more. Follow me on social media to see if we end up doing that. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one yoga pose for our lower back, since that seems to be the focus. You're gonna be on all fours. You're gonna inhale as deeply as you can, and as you do, you're going to stick your butt up and your head up as high as you can. That is called cow pose, I think. Yeah, that's cow. And then when you exhale, you're going to curl up the opposite direction so that you arch your back, and that's cat pose. So we're gonna do each 5 times to close out this stretching session, all right? So inhale, exhale and curl up. Inhale and curl your head and butt up. That's 1. Exhale. Inhale. That's 2. Exhale. There's 3. Do the final 2 on your own pace. Now to get out of this position, to kind of sneak in one more, go ahead and push yourself up into downward facing dog. Walk yourself back as far as you can. I'm gonna crack my back a little bit. And then slowly come on up. Oh my God. Whew. And it's 5:59. Freaking perfect. I've got 45 seconds or so to get off the stream and get ready for that call. This felt so good. I would love to see your feedback. I may not be able to check it immediately. Curry sprouts! Get it, Iron Lung! Keeping it healthy. This was awesome. Like, to the point that I'm considering, in this moment at least, doing these stretches nightly whenever I get around to them, just so that we can stretch more. Again, I'm going to drop my tipping info in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, that info is in the description of this video. And I just dropped the link to use your Amazon Prime subscription to sign up for my Twitch channel for free. And again, that link is also in the description of this video. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm so glad we had Switchy. I'm so glad we had Jack. And then, of course, Iron Lung, always here. Disco El Swayze, just in time to be too late. I'm just about to sign off, man. I had to call it an early night tonight. But I am so happy with how I feel after this stretch. Thank you all so much for joining me. Switchy, tonight's icebreaker. Jack, tonight's BDE MVP. Keep an eye out. I might do another stretching session tomorrow night. But if that doesn't happen, then I will see you Thursday for another heaping helping of that big deck energy. So until next time, I'm AJ Kirsch. Take care, y'all.